It's a beautiful Monday night at the beach, and it's 60 degrees, and the tide is going out, so it's going to be low tide by the time the sun sets, which will be kind of fun because I can stand way further out on the beach. So kind of stinks like dead crabs because I think that's what happens when it's low tide. It gets kind of stinky. I have to adjust my... It looks like a turtle. Oh, it's just a rock. I thought maybe it was a little turtle. I'm wearing shorts this time in case my feet get wet, which I'm not going to mind because it's warmer. Wow, there's lots of shells and stuff. And broken shells. Really mild. kind of nice. I don't have any my waterproof boots on this time. I have my Asics. I do have some beach shoes or whatever they're called. You wear them and you can get wet, you know, walk around with your bare feet in them. But it's still chilly to me. No, it's pretty windy. It's about 30-mile-an-hour winds. I should say, when isn't it? There's some really pretty shells and stuff, but sadly they're all broken. I wish I could find some shells that weren't broken, because they're gorgeous. Some of these, they look like oyster shells. They're probably clams. Yeah, everything's broken. Well, by the time I get here, you know, I'm sure everybody's picked through them. I'm just not really that interested in coming here during the day. There's just too many people. And I can't deal with crowds. It's really sad, kind of, but when COVID happened, I was working at my job that I retired from, and it was in the middle of a downtown of a city. And all of a sudden, after COVID hit, everybody stayed home except just me and a couple other people. Oh, that was a jellyfish thing. I'm not touching that. And so I decided I'd rather be at work than at home. Plus, I didn't want to pay the electric bill to have to, you know, have my computer on all the time and the air conditioning on all the time while I was working. So, because I was in Arizona. And, but it was so nice because it was like The Walking Dead, you know, no cars on the streets, nobody was walking around. You'd see somebody occasionally on a bicycle. And I was walking back and forth to work, and you didn't smell the stink of car exhaust, you know, and that was so nice. I can't stand that smell of car exhaust, or any, and you couldn't smell like the greasy stink of all the restaurants were downtown, and you didn't have to smell the stink of all the grease coming from them. That smell makes me physically sick. So it was nice. I really like that. Here on the coast, I've never smelled exhaust one time. There's no pollution here at all. It's made me feel so much healthier. There's a lot of bird poop, from the seagulls. They poop all over the place, and that's fine with me. But you know, they're wildlife. The only thing I don't like is I don't like it when people have fires here on the beach, campfires. It's really hard for me to breathe from those. And then like in the winter here, everybody burns, you know, wood in the fireplace. But at least here they actually burn wood from real trees. They don't burn pallets and stuff like they burned in Arizona. They burnt that wood that you buy at the 7-Eleven or the Circle K. That manufactured wood that's pressed together. That's the stinkiest, most disgusting smell. And I can't imagine that's not toxic, you know. So here, the smell of oak and pine burning doesn't really bother me. I don't like stand over it or anything, but it reminds me of my home state. We had birch and oak, maple, pine. The first thing I smelled when I got here, or actually when I entered this state, was the smell of pine. The smell of the pine trees. I hadn't smelled that smell for, geez, 23, 24 years. Since I had left my home state, and I lived in Arizona for 23 years. So my ancestors lived in the forests. They lived in by the oceans. They lived in really, really cold climates, which I was born and raised in the third coldest climate in the U.S. So there are very healthy people there. The Scandinavians, Norwegians, Irish, Scottish, the Welsh, Icelanders are very, very healthy people. And I'm proud of my ancestors. I was all stressed out because I thought the woman that lived below me had passed away, but she hadn't. She's actually in a nursing home. She was in rehabilitation for medical issues. She's like in her 80s, I believe. And she's been gone for like over 6 months. And so she was a really nice lady too. And it was so quiet under my apartment, or below. And the other day I talked to the manager, and they're moving stuff out of her apartment, and I thought, oh gee, she passed away. And I felt really bad. So I asked the manager what happened to her, and he said she's just in a nursing home. So, but they have the woman that is going to be renting the apartment under me, she's a nice, quiet, retired lady. And that makes me very happy, because my manager was teasing me. And he said, because I asked him, I said, would you please get somebody quiet under me? he has really severe dry humor. And he goes, oh, he goes, why? He goes, there's going to be a really nice family with a bunch of kids moving in there. And I said, are you kidding me? I said, come on. I said, I really didn't want to have to move out of my apartment. And he goes, and he just started laughing. I knew he was joking. So then I talked to the neighbor lady next to me, and she said it's a real nice lady, retired lady. So that makes me happy. Because I'm really quiet. The only thing you ever hear out of me is my dogs. Like, when we get up, my dogs will bust ass and they'll run to the couch and grab their toys and jump all over. And I have wooden floors, so I know they'll hear the dog's toenails. And then the 2 times a day where I feed them, you hear them running around, and that's about it. Otherwise, they're very quiet, and the little one's always sitting in my lap. And the big one likes to sit on the couch, because he's 6 years old, so he's calmed down. And the little one is 3, I believe. I haven't checked lately. But she's toned it down a little bit. I got her when she was 1, but she's a nut. The sky's going to be really pretty when the sun sets. I played that game called Still Wakes the Deep. I know I mentioned it before. It's a horror game, and it's in Scotland. It was made, I think the developers are from Scotland, or the company, I mean. And it's one of the best video games I have ever played in my life. The story, the characters, the voice acting, the graphics, just absolutely beautiful. And they're on an oil rig in the middle of the ocean, and something happens on the oil rig. So think of it like the movie The Thing on an oil rig. I would love to see them make a movie out of this, because it would be fabulous. But I will play it again. And man, I got emotional at the end of that game. It was just it was beautiful, a beautiful game. I wish it was longer. You know, I hate it when really good games are not real long, because I don't like to end them. My feet are wet now. That's okay, these shoes will dry out good. Now that wind's getting cold. Whew. I guess the first year I moved here, well, I got here in August of 2022, and it was actually, I could come here in a t-shirt, and last year, I honestly don't remember how hot it was. But so far it was 78 the other day, but it's nothing here on the coast. So the wind in Portland's been 100 today. I'm really happy I don't live in the interior. Man, that water is cold. Whew. Now my feet are soaked. A lot of people here waiting for the sunset, or else they're waiting to do some crabbing. The most I've seen in the evening all year. Another reason I don't go in the water in the ocean is lately there have been people have been in the water 2 feet, 3 feet high, and sharks have grabbed them out of the water. The sharks are coming in closer to where the people are. That's really scary. Water's not deep at all. There's people way out there. Gee. Maybe they were, oh yeah, they're on a surfboard. Oh my gosh. I don't know how they can be in this cold water and not get hypothermia. Oh, look at that sun. put the hooded sweatshirt on. Looks like a mushroom. There it goes. Take my sunglasses off. Camera, sometimes it'll like stop at half an hour and then it'll make another one, or it'll make segments. And then one time, a couple times it did a full hour. So I'm not sure why it does that. So I just put you know, part 1 and a part 2. I'm gonna stay here and watch the sky get orange. Now I can see the rocks better without my sunglasses on. I wish there were some good ones. I'll walk all the way down. all the way over there, I think. I think I'm gonna have to put my hood on. My ears are getting cold. Yeah. Oops, sorry about that. There are some real freaks on this beach sometimes. They'll come up to you and think you're it's I don't even like even talking about it, but they'll come up and they'll think you're available. And they're very aggressive. And so far they got the hint pretty quick that I'm not interested. So, oh yeah, I can't cross that. Oh my gosh, man. My hair. Stand on this little thing here. I love it when the sky gets bright orange. It looks really pretty from my my balcony. On my YouTube channel, it's really interesting. The stuff that gets the most views are my dolls and my dogs, which is pretty cool. My dolls, my my baby's first haircut doll, she's already gotten over 3,000 views, and my baby Jason doll, I think is up to about 4,000 maybe. And then my little It baby doll, it's getting up there in views. And I haven't checked on my Chucky doll yet. I better take off, and I can see this up from my balcony.